Welcome back, Daily Dose. This is Susan and Robert. We're talking about Los Angeles, and we're talking about what kinds of emotions and insights and experiences people are having who are affected, and then all the rest of us who are affected just from a distance for reasons, people, memories, whatever. Um, and I am sitting here thinking about the work that we do in cinema therapy, and it's really a special kind of thing when you have something that big sitting on your heart to actually have something to do with it instead of just sitting in grief, to have a creative outlet or something, some kind of outlet. So I want to commend you because that's really what this work is. It does for us.
Well, thank you, first of all, and know that the only way it makes sense is if it makes sense. And here's the greatest testing ground why I feel so confident about this and, having something to offer. Whether or not people take it up, I'm not worried. But what we've been doing the last 4 years with, day one that became cinema therapy does exactly that. And by the way, what I started with my dad 22 years ago was a form of cinema therapy, right? I saw Field of Dreams and I yes-anded that into the adventure of Boys of Summer, right? That's cinema therapy, just taken a different direction, right?
Yeah,
You
real
know,
time.
we wrote a story in real time and documented it.
You lived the story and documented it.
That's right. That's right. And so I know it works. I didn't invent the form, you know. This is back to that example. I picked up things and I put them together. Baseball and Parkinson's. What's that got to do with anything, right? I mean, well, there you go.
Yeah,
So
fires up, LA
what's
up.
that got to do? Yeah, yeah. And so it's who we are, and I'm so glad you put we in there because you are yaks as much as me, and our fellow board members who are all defined to a
Mhm.
degree and by helping build this thing, we are. And we've been saying for a while how we want to expand beyond Parkinson's, because for people with Parkinson's, guess what? You don't want to be identified as just a person with Parkinson's, right?
Whole lot more than that.
You have a heart, you have a spirit, you have joy, you have a
That's
life to live.
yeah.
And so what you're going to do tomorrow by showing up and participating in this is show people this is how this thing works. I know what grief is, two-time cancer survivor, person living with Parkinson's, and other challenges. I know what trauma is. You know those things. And you know this form that we play in too. So we're going to offer all those things humanistically. And this is, I guess, the dynamic part that we hadn't done before, although we talked about it, is leave it out there asynchronously for people to do what they will.
Mhm.
We've had it behind closed doors for good reason, because as a company, yes, I mean, if we're going to engage long term, yeah, I mean, we need to be paid for this, right? That's
Mhm.
just fiscally responsible.
Mhm.
However, we've gone far enough to where I didn't have to reinvent the wheel to produce this. I'm not saying I didn't put a lot into this. I did.
Yes.
What I got out of it was, like I mentioned to you, the release of some grief trauma in directions I didn't even realize. I didn't realize I was going to be talking about my son.
Right, right. 15 years ago, and you've processed
Yeah,
many times through that, but maybe you thought it was
right.
packaged up and really secure and
What does my 15-year-old son have to do with the wildfires in 2025 in Los Angeles?
more than you think.
Yeah, when it's lensed this way,
Yeah.
because the universal thing is grief, the universal thing is trauma, and the universal tool is the hero's journey. That's the coming together.
Yeah, if you think the stages, the mentors learning from each other, the friends and the allies that help you on your journey.
Yeah. It's all there. And it's a beautiful coming together, like you mentioned, at a time when we could otherwise feel lost. We could otherwise feel hopeless, feel like I don't know what to do, or I don't know if what I'm doing matters. This is a call to adventure. If it matters, great. If it doesn't, we put it up and maybe it does nothing. In 2 years, someone picks it up, one person, and says, oh
Yeah.
my gosh,
Yeah.
where was this?
Yeah. It was so important. You said something a minute ago I want to go back to. You
Mhm.
said we are, and I flashed to your Aunt Linda's writing in last week in the cinema therapy class
Yeah,
where she wrote I am, and we all had such a powerful response to that.
yeah.
And you said we are in response to the community of people affected by and potentially helped by this work.
Mhm.
Here, here.
That's who we are.
We are.
Fantastic. Thanks so much for your questions. Thanks so much for not getting it and calling it out.
Yeah.
And thanks for hanging in there.
Thanks for doing what you've done. Looking forward to tomorrow.
All right. We'll
Okay.
see you there, folks. Come help us raise Los Angeles up. Take care.